this new rule. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta look it up a little bit because I didn't have that much time to check it out myself. But I want to get a better understanding of it. We're gonna get a better understanding of it together on stream. But this is kind of new for me, so I will see some tweets throughout the day, but I didn't get a chance to really read about it before stream. I apologize. I try to be prepared, more prepared than this. But NBA Board of Governors approves new player participation policy. The new policy will take effect the start of the 2023-2024 regular season. I'm gonna read a lot of this because, like I said, I don't know it. The NBA Board of Governors today approved the new player participation policy, which is intended to promote player participation in the NBA's regular season. The new policy will take effect with the start of the 2023-24 regular season and enhance and replace the player resting policy, which was implemented prior to the 17-18 season. The player participation policy, that's funny that they're even changing the name. Enhance and replace. This was the player resting policy, which made it seem like it was about allowing people to rest. The participation policy makes it seem like it's like, nah, y'all did enough resting and we're gonna get you back. Even just the names of the policies are already sending a type of message here. The participation policy primarily will focus on star players. A star player for purposes of the policy is any player who, in any of the prior 3 seasons, was selected to an All-NBA team or an All-Star team. I guess I wonder if All-NBA, does all defensive fall underneath the All-NBA standing? Like, is it just all league teams? I'm curious. This definition also applies following a given season's All-Star game to any player who's named an All-Star during that season. So if you're named an All-Star during that season, it'll apply for you for your next year. Okay. Under the policy, unless a team demonstrates an approved reason for a star player not to participate in a game, then amongst other things, the team must manage its roster to ensure that no more than one star player is unavailable for the same game, ensure that star players are available for all national television and NBA season and tournament games, maintain a balance between the number of one-game absences for a star player and home and road games. So you can't just be like, I'm not playing on the road and only play a home game. Refrain from any long-term shutdowns in which a star player stops playing games. If resting a healthy player, ensure that that player is present at the games and visible to fans. The policy includes exceptions for injuries, personal reasons, pre-approved back-to-back restrictions based on a player's age, career workload, or serious injury history. I ain't gonna lie, because I feel like if you should not physically injured and can't play, then you should play. He said, you ain't read all this, I'm dead. I'm not mad at this. This is a good rule. So essentially it sounds like I can see some loopholes in it. I ain't gonna hold you, just based on some of these exceptions for injuries, personal reasons. Personal reasons are usually like pregnant wife, baby being born, death in the family, parents sick. Like, those are usually some of the personal reasons we hear about when players miss games for personal reasons, whatever it is. Pre-approved back-to-back restrictions. I'm cool with that because the NBA keep claiming they're having, they claim they have less or almost no back-to-backs that are also, or a lot less. I can't say they have none. I'm sure they have some, but a lot less back-to-backs that are national televised games. So I'm not mad at that. But age, career workload, and serious injury history, it makes me wonder what that's going to look like, because it's funny when Bleacher Report, when Sports Center, when ESPN, when The Athletic, the Dunk, NBA Central, when somebody on social media was posting about this rule, the main picture that they used was obviously Kawhi and Paul George. Kawhi and Paul George have age, career workload, and serious injury history to consider, and some of those things might make them so they can sit out more games than we want them to, but hopefully they play. Because Ty Lue said in a recent interview a couple of weeks ago, I think he was on All the Smoke, maybe this might have been like June, July, that he told Kawhi, PG, that we got to take the regular season more serious, that we need to, buckle down and hoop. I feel like it's a little crazy that your head coach has to come out and say that he told you to take the regular season more serious, but it is what it is. Not my monkey, not my circus. I like this rule for the most part. Do I think it'll have a huge impact? At the very least, I think it'll have an impact on national televised games. And if that's the case, I'm happy with that. Personally, I watch a lot of League Pass games, so I might still be watching some games where stars aren't playing. But at the very least, for them Tuesday, Thursday TNT games, them Saturday matinees and stuff like that, it'll be good for those. It'll be good for those. This list is from, who made this list? Shout out to NBA Central. They're now the Dunk Central. They put together the 49 star players who are subject to the new player participation policy. There's a lot of names here, because you gotta think, either All-Stars, All-NBA guys. I'm just gonna scroll through and see some names. Like Ben is on here. That's a good one to be here. He need to be hooping. A lot of these guys, the way I'm looking at them, they don't really be sitting out. At least in my opinion, they don't be sitting out for sitting out's sake. This doesn't apply to a ton of guys. We know who the big, the guys who this really be applying to on a regular basis. We know who the guys this be applying to on a regular basis. But I'm not mad at this. I like the rule. Hey, shout out to Mike Conley. I forgot he made a team a couple years ago. That's crazy. Mike Conley's on here. Shout out to him. Hope we see a lot of him this season. We shall see. Devin Booker's another guy I'm like slightly concerned about. Still, he bounced back really, really good from his injury, but injuries be injury. I like the rule. I'm not mad at it. I don't know if it'll have a huge impact on actually seeing guys play more games. Like I said, it'll affect those nationally televised games. And the reason that's good that it'll affect those nationally televised games is because the NBA is about to go in a bidding war to see who's going to get league rights again. Like I want to say either this summer or next summer, they're going to be bidding for rights to stream the games. Like rumors are out that Apple's going to be interested, that Amazon's going to be interested. Remember a couple of years ago when I want to say all Thursday night games were on Amazon Prime, like you had to have a Prime account to watch Thursday night football games, Thursday night football. I can see the NBA trying to get into something like that. There's money to be made here. But these companies, these streaming companies, these TV companies, they ain't gonna want the product if the players who make the product what it is ain't playing. So I'm not mad at this rule. At the very least, for nationally televised games in the end season term. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about. Last thing before we get out of here, and it's not really a major thing. I'm gonna talk about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal personally. Giannis was on ESPN. NBA, ESPN ain't right, bro.